This is Lecture 9.3, Performing Additional Cash Payments Journal Operations. This is found on page 248 of your book. The main thing that we're going to be talking about in this section is our petty cash report and replenishing our petty cash fund. So, a petty cash fund enables a business to pay cash for small expenses without writing a check. We talked about this a little bit in Chapter 5. So this would be like when a business has maybe $200 just kind of up at their, little front desk, like just think about like an insurance, business or something. You're not really doing cash payments for anything. It's really a lot more, paid on account, but you do have about $200 maybe in a safe in your business, and that's just when, you run out of printer toner, you run out of paper and it's not going to be ordered yet, and so you have your secretary run and go get some paper, or maybe you're going to buy pizza for your office, whatever. That comes out of your petty cash fund. Okay, and so this is right here a petty cash report, and we need to know the different parts of this report as you'll be needing to read these later on in the chapter. It will tell you it's a petty cash report. It will have the date and the custodian. And the custodian is just the person that is in charge of making sure this petty cash fund is correct, and that it's been used correctly and not been anyone's not taken money from the petty cash fund or whatever. Okay, we need to summarize our petty cash payments. So we used $45 for some supplies, $25 for advertising, and $144 for miscellaneous. Just little things that people needed, then they used this petty cash fund for. We need to calculate and write the total payments. Okay, so here is our total payments. We need to write the actual amount of cash on hand. Okay, so then, we started with 250. We've made these payments. Okay, so we spent 214. We need to actually count the number of cash that we have on hand, which is $35.44. Okay. No, excuse me. Let me restart that. Okay, we started with 250. These are the payments that people said they have made. Here are my total amount of payments. So when I add this up, here's my total. So this recorded amount on hand is 250 minus 214.56, and we get 35.44. However, we need to actually take out the cash of our petty cash report and actually count it out. And the actual amount that I count is 33.85. Okay? Think about for a minute why those two numbers are different. Okay? Those numbers could be different for a lot of reasons. Maybe my job was to go buy donuts for the office, and it was, $19 and 87 cents, and they gave me change. I put it in my pocket. I go back and I pass out the donuts, and I forget to ever put the few extra cents in the petty cash fund. Okay. Maybe when I'm taking something, they actually gave me more money back, or I actually had money in my pocket as well, and so when I put the change back, I had actually given some of my own change in. There's reasons why maybe this is not exactly right on the penny. Okay, so we are either going to have cash short or cash over. Okay, and you need to memorize which way is which. Okay, so it says errors may be made when making payments from a petty cash fund. These errors cause a difference between the actual cash on hand and the record of the amount of cash that should be on hand. A petty cash on hand amount that is less than the recorded amount is called cash short. So when you actually don't have as much cash in your petty cash fund as it says you should have, okay, so this is less than what you should have, you are cash short. A petty cash on hand amount that is more than a recorded amount is called cash over. So that makes sense, but make sure you get that in your brain. Okay, if I'm short on cash of what it says I should have, I'm cash short. If I have more cash than it says I should have, I'm cash over. Okay? The custodian prepares a petty cash report when the petty cash fund needs to be replenished. So we can't just keep spending from here and then never have, $250 in here. So I'm going to put this cash short and over in here. So I was cash short, so I need another $1.59 in order to make up for what I need to get to 250. Okay, so when I take this 214.56 plus this 159 cash short, I get 216.15, and that's what I need to go ahead and put back into my petty cash fund to make sure that my bag still has $250 in it. Okay, to replenish a petty cash fund, we are going to do this in our cash payments journal because we're going to take money out of cash and put it in petty cash. So we're going to have our date, and then we're going to list all the account titles that we have spent money out of, okay? So if you go back to your petty cash report, you should be able to see supplies office, advertising, miscellaneous, and then our cash short and over, okay? We're going to put our check number in that we are going to pay, and let's see, that should be given to you, okay? Then we need to debit all of these accounts. Okay, these are expense accounts, right? We need to debit, make sure that that money is coming out of there. Our cash short and over. If our cash is short, it needs to be credited. If our cash is over, it needs to be, if our cash short is a debit, cash over is a credit. Okay, cash short and over. Okay, and then we are going to put our cash back in. I was getting this confused. I didn't realize this was a different example than the one prior to this. So in this example, we were cash over. Okay, we had too much cash on hand. Okay, and so our cash over needs to be a credit. In our first example, back here, if we were doing this example when we were cash short, it would have been here as a debit. Okay, so we're going to debit our accounts. We need to debit or credit our cash short and over, whatever that will be, and then whatever amount that we are going to replenish to get back to our original amount needs to go in our cash credit on that first line. Totaling, proving, and ruling a cash payments journal to carry totals forward. Okay, we need to rule a single line. We're going to write the date. We're going to write the words carried forward. We're going to total all these up, rule with double lines, and put a check mark in our post reference. Okay. Then on the next page, we will write the journal number, write the date, write the words brought forward, place your check mark in your post reference, and recopy all of those totals, and you'll be ready to start your new page in your cash payments journal. You've done this before, easy. Okay. Totaling, proving, and ruling a cash payments journal. At the end of the month, you know how to do this. Single line, date, totals, total them up, and give me a double line. Cash short, cash over. That's all you need to know. 493.